What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is going to be your review for Bridgerton Season 3, Episode 2. So I know this is a long time coming, but we are here. So we are dealing with the reactions to Lady Whistledown. We know Lady Whistledown came for the son child. Because Penn was mad, and because we know who Lady Whistledown is, okay? But also there was something in there about, let's not write off these spinsters that people, that society says, hey, they're too old to get married, they're too old to find love. And she gave some examples. So, of course, because this is her third year, as an eligible bachelorette, So she like, listen, don't write us off just yet. And then we see the queen getting all of these gifts because, of course, all of these mothers are trying to get their daughter to be called the diamond of the season, which she has not labeled a diamond of the season yet. Oh, I love this. Is my favorite. Have y'all gotten the Bath and Body Works Bridgerton collection? Diamond of the season is my favorite scent as far as lotion. But I like most of the candles. Anyway, moving on. Sorry, I don't even work for Bath and Body Works. I don't know why I just gave them a plug. But anyway, moving forward. So, of course, Lady Dandridge is like, she knows how to play the queen. And if you have not watched Queen Charlotte to see their friendship and see how it blossomed, then you'll get a better understanding of how the two of them work, right? Like, she's the only one that can call the queen out on her ish, and there'd be no repercussions. But that has been their relationship from the beginning, and so that's been cool. Remember that Penn is supposed to be getting some training to help her find a man. So Eloise is out with her two brothers walking. Penn meets them down, on the promenade. And he is trying to see how well she can work with, how does she talk and does she know how to flirt and all of that. And of course we know she doesn't. And she fails miserably. I mean, she's fanning herself. She's stumbling over her words. She is looking quite lost. And of course the guys are looking at each other like, what in the world is going on here? She ends up, getting embarrassed and just going home. And she's like, listen, this is just, forget it. Like, I guess I'll just have to resolve myself to a life of spinsterhood because this is not the answer, right? Now while this is going on, the Mondrick family, they are getting adjusted to their new quarters. We found out that the son has been named the heir. And so they're, being shown through the house and everything. And baby, come to find out, they are being put in separate rooms. And they were looking at each other like, we married with kids. Why do we have to be in separate rooms? And then the house mother or the housekeeper or the head of the household was like, well, that's just the way it's done. And they just kind of looking at each other like, what? Later on, we see Lady Mondrick down at the modiste, basically getting the clothes that are already there adjusted for this, for the ball, because of course they're going to make their debut at the ball. And the modiste is trying to tell her, listen, I tried to get your aunt to get some more updated clothes. I mean, if you want me to just take these in, that's fine. But girl, this ain't really what it's supposed to be. But of course, she's like, listen, it's not my money. It's my son's money. I'm just trying to figure out these new rules, right? I'm just trying to get in where I fit in with these rules and stuff. Now, while this is going on, over at Penn's house, the mama is nervous, okay, because she knows that she got them there fraudulently and that money is the money that was stolen, and she is really nervous about them being found out. So she is putting the pressure on the daughters to make an heir. And it seems like one of the daughters is kind of, her and her husband are, doing the things that need to be done. But the other daughter is just kind of like, you could tell she is just irritated and she is just not feeling it, okay? But she is like, listen, we got to get this thing moving before, they really dig too deep and find out what's really going on. And then we all going to be out on our arses, okay? We're getting ready for another ball. And the queen is saying, listen, I don't want the same old, right? The diamond, if it's going to be a diamond, she's going to have to show me something different. I'm going to have to see her passion is a little bit different than just finding a husband. Like, I got to step up my game. It can't just be a pretty face. It's got to be a little bit more to go with it, so that, listen, I got to keep up my keep up my what's what I'm looking for? My standards. Okay, I think that might be the word I'm looking for. Okay. So Penn and Ethan are down at the market, inconspicuously talking. But he's trying to talk to her and explain to her, listen, when you're talking to these guys, talk to them like you talk to me. The first time we met, you were so comfortable with me. We were riding our horses, and it just seemed like now that we're adults, you're so self-conscious of everything. Go back to when we were kids and you were so free and you would say what needed to be said and you didn't worry about the repercussions, and you weren't in your head about some stuff. And she was like, listen, people didn't know me. Like now, now they know who I am. I said Ethan, I meant Colin, sorry. But, I'm comfortable with you because you are my friend. I don't know these people. And when I was younger, I didn't know to be afraid. I didn't know to be nervous. I didn't know to feel any kind of way. I mean, ultimately, the bottom line is we already know what it is. Child, she in love with Colin. Okay? She's trying because she wanted to get out her mama house. But at the end of the day, she really just wants Colin. And so he asked her, he said, well, why do you want a husband so bad? She said, because I want my freedom. And of course, he doesn't understand what that means. He said, well, that's really weird because, most women who go into marriage don't feel like they're free. And she was like, listen, I just want to be able to read my books, mind my business, and not have to worry about none of this other stuff. And, once I found my husband, then I feel like I can do that. I could just be who I am and just be by myself. I don't have to worry about being chaperoned. I don't have to worry about what other people are going to say when they see me. So then he says, listen, what happened between you and Eloise? Like, at the end of the day, I'm trying to be respectful, but what happened? Like, y'all were best friends. I left. I come back. Y'all not even speaking to each other. And she didn't answer. She used that as a perfect example to get away, right? Like, man, you've been talking too long. My chaperone giving me the side eye. Now I got to get out of here. So he tells her that she needs to come over to the house so they can practice. And she was like, I can't come over there because of Eloise and everything else. And he was like, listen, don't leave it up to me. I got you, So she comes over to the house. He keeps the brothers distracted. The brothers and the sister distracted playing poker. He was like, you know how competitive we are. So, they're going to be playing poker for the next couple of hours. We ain't got to worry about it. So they sneak into the drawing room so he could practice dancing with her. Well, of course, as soon as they get ready to start dancing, here come Eloise. They're coming back from the Modis. So he has to, hurry up and rush her in another room. And while she's in the room, she finds his journal, his diary. And of course, she starts reading it. I mean, she don't mean to because she knocked something over, but then she did. And he's talking about, he's opening up about love and feelings and, what he's been dealing with and how he's evolving as a person now that he's away from his family and away from those expectations of society and, where he is or where he's from. And so, of course, he gets upset with her because he was like, did you read my journal? Because he came in there. And she was like, I didn't mean to. She said, but it's beautiful. Like, what you wrote was beautiful. And so, of course, he's upset. He ends up cutting his hand. And she's, bandaging his hand up. And they have this whole moment where they're staring into each other's eyes. And, it's kind of like a, because Penn keep breathing this whole episode. It's just, everything is just heavy breathing from her. But, it's a little moment that sort of passes, and then he's like, you got to go. Like, I got to get you out of here kind of thing. So they know they have that, the ball later on that night. So, over at the Mandridge house, they are getting dressed. And, of course, she's wearing all of Lady Kent's old clothing. That's not very flattering, but the jewelry is. And, baby, when she got to see that jewelry collection and all the different jewels that she could wear, baby, she felt a little bit better. But they were still subconscious when they got to the ball because they had never been at the ball as a part of society. So they were really nervous about what they should do and how they should do it. And, the Bridgerton was like, listen, the rules apply to single people. Like, you see that married couple over there, they are drunk as a skunk, and they do it every time. You know why? Because they can, because they're married, and what people gonna say about it? You know, and he started pointing out different people. He was like, listen, when you're married, the rules are a little different. The rules don't really apply to single people. You know, I mean, to married people. Now, while this is going on, Eloise is on her way to the ball with Colin, and Colin actually tells her, "Listen, I'm helping Penelope find a husband. Like, you know, this is what I'm helping her do. Like, that's why we've been spending time together." And Eloise was like, "What? She's trying to find a husband? That's not like Penn." And he was like, "Well, maybe you don't know Penn like you think you do. Like, maybe you need to talk to your friend." And so she was like, "Well, why are you helping her?" And he was like, "Because she's my friend." You know what I mean? Like, why? She's my friend. And she was, and you know, Eloise was like, "Well, you're eligible. Why aren't you interested?" And he was like, "No, like that's no. She's my friend, you know." And he was like, "And don't say nothing, you know." And listen, it should go without saying that Eloise don't need to shouldn't say anything. But what does Eloise do? As soon as she gets there, she rolls up on her friend, um, and she tells her, but she doesn't tell anybody. But people overhear Eloise talking. So the rumor spreads, and people get to talking, and you see, like, people start whispering throughout the ball, and um, of course, Penn, you know, it gets back to Penn what's being said. She gets embarrassed. She ends up running out of the room, and Colin goes up to Eloise and is like, "What did you say? Like, did you say something?" And she was like, "I didn't say anything." And she was like, she was like, "Well, I only told one person." So she goes to confront her friend. What's the girl's name? I forgot the child's name. But she goes to confront her. And the friend was like, "I didn't say anything. Like, the fact that you thought that I would violate our friendship, like, we were working on this, and I told you I was getting better, and I told you I was trying to be a better person. But the fact that you will automatically assume the worst of me, that is hurtful." She was like, "Maybe you need to check yourself, because you weren't very discreet when you told me. You were actually kind of loud, almost as if you wanted somebody to hear you. So maybe you need to check yourself." And of course, Eloise was sitting there looking really stupid, like, damn. Now, while all of this is going on, Francesca is making the rounds as well. And of course, we know all she care about is her daggone music. You know, she just want to be able to play the piano. She want to find a husband that's going to let her play her piano. And Lady Dandridge, you know, she always got an eye. Lady Dandridge rolls up on Francesca and says, "You know what? I want to show you something." So she takes her into a room where there's a piano and allows her to play. And she just coinky dinky gets the queen to come and hear it. And of course, the queen is like, "Yes, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I've been looking for. She sounds absolutely divine. She is absolutely beautiful. Oh my goodness." So of course, Lady Dandridge, she done finagle another diamond out of the Bridgerton family. Okay. And now while this is going on, Penelope mama is trying to convince them sisters to have, you know, relations with their husbands. But what she realizes is the one daughter was like, "Oh yeah, we do it all the time. We do it in the morning. We do it after dark. We do it here. We do it there. We do it everywhere." And so the mother was happy about it. The other daughter was like, "Mom, I just don't like it. I don't like messing up my hair. It don't feel good. I just don't appreciate it." Okay. Well, come to find out, the other daughter that says she likes it here, there, and everywhere, she didn't realize that she wasn't actually having sex. She was kissing her husband, and then her husband was rolling over and pleasuring himself by himself. So whereas she thought one daughter was actually trying to get a baby made, neither one of them. And she tells them, "Listen, let me sit down and have a conversation with you." And she had to actually explain the birds and the bees to them, and then tell them, "Go home and get the job done." It was hilarious, okay? Now, after the ball, Pendon ran out embarrassed. Everybody knows her secret. And of course, now she's in a quandary, right? Because everybody knows everything. Well, before I get to that, the Mondrers goes home and they go back in their bedroom. They were like, "Listen, since we the adults and we're the couple, we're married, we can make the rules. And we won't sleep in the same room, we're going to sleep in the same room." Over to Lady Danbury's house, baby, she gets a little notice and she She said, listen, we got a guest coming now. I don't know if that was a booty call and, old England times, or is there actually like somebody coming to visit. I don't know. Well, Penn is in a precarious situation because Lady Whistledown would absolutely have written about what happened at the ball as it relates to her. So she had to do it. She had to put it in, in the Lady Whistledown. And of course, everybody's talking about Penn. And, Colin goes to visit Penn to check on her to see how she's doing. And she tells him, listen, that's it. That's a wrap. Like, I'm just not going to be in society. I'm just going to be by myself for the rest of my life. She said, but I need one thing from you. Like, if I can ask for just one favor from you. And he was like, what? She was like, can you just kiss me? And he was like, Penn, what? She said, no. If I'm going to be alone for the rest of my life, can I at least, I don't want to die thinking I've never been kissed. Like, can you please can I just have a kiss? And so they kiss, honey. And of course, the world lit up. And Colin is looking at Penelope, and Penelope is looking at Colin, and baby, then they kiss again. And that's the end of the episode. So we're going to see where this thing takes us. I'm going to speed it up a little bit, y'all, because I was slowing it down because I didn't want to finish it too fast because you know how much I love me some Bridgerton. But I'm going to speed it up a little bit. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.